Welcome to Board Games Daddy. It's time to visit the Fortress expansion for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game. So this expansion will bring the Fortress Fortress faction, yeah, including the miniatures. So there's no extra box with the miniatures. Everything is here. Tiles that are related with this faction, and also that could be added to the general game. CD tiles, cards, creatures, heroes, etc. Everything here. Mission books, play raids, everything else. And this makes the game increase its size to 4 players. But as I mentioned in the base game, I don't recommend this game to be played with 4 because it takes a while. It takes a while because there's lots of AP when the players are thinking about their actions, and then when they are fighting with each other, it's not a game that happens at the same time. Everyone do their own turn. They fight NPCs. That takes a while. So um, maybe I didn't play exactly with the setup proper for more than 3 players, but from my experience, it would work bad with just 3. It's a more familiar game that moves faster. The rhythm is faster, you level up faster, because there's nothing to do on other player's turn. You can assume the NPCs and fight against the other player, but besides that, and the fights are very dull as well when you are the NPC. Okay, so fire consumes the world. What fire? Which fire? Haven't spent years studying magic. Adrienne, the despised fire witch, decides to return home. So there's a backstory here. What is that question? Neither her travels nor her bitter memories could have prepared her. However, for the horrors her homeland greets with her, house burned to the ground, smell of death. Okay. Cool. So yeah, very interesting story. Expand the gameplay with another faction and 4 player and enjoy 2 versus 2 alliances. Okay, that could make sense. That could make sense. Make your game even more unique with the special event cards. Special event card? What's that? And plunge into unforgettable adventures that awaits you. Be warned, however, the rumor has it that the swamps are now home of the feared Rust Dragon. Okay, Rust Dragon. So I guess the Rust Dragon was one of the miniatures that we saw on the stretch goal box. At the time I was not able to identify. Look at the eyes right here. I was not able to identify, but now it makes sense. Could be this Rust Dragon indeed. Okay, so box is filled till the top, and this is the mission book. So no rule book here. You don't need a rule book. Everything is on the base game. You just need to understand what are these new quests that this book brings. Schools of Magic are the same. Alliance mode. Alliance mode. Okay, what's that? Alliance mode, arrogance. Scenario for 2 players, 2 versus 2. It's the 2 versus 2 the box mentions. Okay. See, there's everything is hidden here, and you have starting places. Would that be? And then you turn them and explore. Then clash mode, the search for the Grail. It's a 2 to 3 player scenario. 2 player, 3 player. Nothing solo for now. Then the Fortress campaign, there it is. This is a solo scenario. Alright, yes. Looks like something solo. Cast Maple, Necropolis Styles, Fortress. Is this solo? How do I see that? Player setup, faction, Fortress. You need to play with Fortress. Because there were some solo campaign in the base game for the castle people. Now this seems to be something for the forest people. With that hero there. And there was a story. There it is, a story. There's a story here. Okay, so cool. So cool. Wow. March of the Undead. So now you play with the fortress. Again, still with the fortress. AI will be Necropolis. So now you play with this hero here. And the Necrons. Necro. Again, I'm calling them the Necros. It'll be around here, including the Rust Dragon, probably. Where's the Rust Dragon? And then playing with fire, burning off Tatalia. So play with Fortress against the Necros again. Oh, so cool. So cool. And the internet should be filled of more scenarios that I need to figure it out. So this is the new town. Settlements. Looks like tropical forest environment. Yeah, so far we only have, at least from the boxes that I opened, we only have solo content for the castle faction and the fortress now. So I'm definitely would like to find solo campaigns for all the other guys. So it's how cool it is if you when you have a game that you can play with 2, 3, 4, 4, and then you also, if you want to play solo, you could have that campaign specially dedicated for solo, right? With the story, mechanics. Wow, this is so cool. I know there are lots of games that you can play solo, but solo is always the poor child, right? I hope that it's not the case here. It's not a poor child here. And it's also a very good or even better experience. But anyway, you understand. So these are the heroes. How many do you have? Just one pair. So it's going to be Winston, the Beastmaster, and Adrian. So this guy is super strong on defense. Super strong on defense. 0 on attack. And is normal weak on magic. And on the other side, you have a super magic character, the Fire Witch. The Fire Witch. This is the Fire Witch. Yeah, the box mentioned Adrienne, the Fire Witch. So there she is. There she is. And let's take a look at. So you have extra coins for the fort player, the tiles for the fortress, the icons for more tiles, more things. For the base of the fortress. Yes. There's not the base, but the city. There's the city here. Okay, so I'm not explaining how the game works because I mentioned that on the base game video. You can check that on the channel, but you can take this out and see. This is like the build version, and behind you have the non-build version. What else you have here? The miniatures. There are the cubes, the green cubes. They're all green. Or there are some black ones as well for you to mark. Depleted mines. You see some green and some black. You use the black ones to mark depleted places in the map. And we'll get to the minis. We'll get now to the minis. So let's see first the creatures you have, the new ones. Okay. So let's start with the gnolls. Where are the gnolls? Here they are. They look like hyenas. Humanoid hyenas. And then on the other side you have the upgraded version in foil, which they move faster to 5, and they have 1 more of life, 4. Then the lizard man. Lizard man would be the ranged guys here. Very cool. Very cool. Then the dragonflies, flying creatures. There we go. Dragonfly. The basilisk. Now silver creatures. The basilisk. Big dog. The basilisk. It's a basilisk. No. No, that's not a basilisk. That's a basilisk. The basilisk. Walking around the forests. Prepare to attack. On sight. I don't know how to put the basilisk. Yes. Then the Gorgon. So the Gorgon is a big bull. Wasn't it a metallic bull? I think so. So you see the metallic scales there. The Gorgon. Then we get to the gold tier, and we have the Iverns, Wyverns, flying, slim, big, long neck, and they have only the back feet, right? The back paws, and the front ones are um, attached to the wings. So that's how you differentiate the wyvern from a dragon. Yes, not sure about the neck, but at least the dragons they have 4 legs, right? You see the dragon, they have 4 legs, and the wyverns only have 2, the back ones, and then they have the front hands are attached to. They have wings instead of front hands, front leg. The last ones would be the hydras. Wow, let's appreciate this mini. And I'm just seeing that ignores retaliation. So retaliation is when you are attacked on melee, you can retaliate and attack back. So the hydra ignore that. 1 to 5 heads. 5 heads. They're trying to bite each other. What a fearsome creature here. Look at that. Interesting. Okay, so we went through the minis now. Let's then see what extra cards this expansion brings to the table. At least there must be some starting material for the new faction. So let's get rid of. Okay, so I see some creatures here. This must be the special events, probably. More events. And then normal cards for the deck. Okay, so these would be the... What's that? The skills. Eagle Eye. Learning skill. Then more items that you can put in battle. The Crest of Valor that you can buy. Gain 1 and ignore. It's loss of morale. Loss of morale. Ignore a loss of morale. Okay, so you can put this together with the other cards from the base game because there's nothing specific here for the factions. You just can play with this. Oh, Arms of the Legion. We had the other parts of the Legion in the base game, so now that's the rest. And then now we have the cards specifically for these heroes. So the high defense guy will have the cards for the Lizard Man. The Fire Witch will have the Fire Magic. Okay. And then we have the magic cards. Misfortune, Frenzy, Fortune, which allow rerolls. Be able to fly. So that's the school of magic. It's air magic, earth magic, impulsion, remove obstacle. Remove obstacles from the combat board. Okay, so I guess this only makes sense on the battlefield expansion, because that's where you use the obstacles. That's strange. Frost Ring, the magic arrow, that's starter. And then there's also starter. These normally are starter cards because they could be used by anyone. And the defense and attack cards for the newbie. Now there are no attack cards because these guys don't have attack, right? Doesn't have attack, doesn't have attack. Very strange, very strange. Super defensive faction here. Super defensive. Okay, then 3 more events. And or would these be the super events? Let's see. Mercenary Camp. These look like the super events. Market of Time, School of Magic and School of War, Magical Forest, Artifact Merchant. Yeah, this should be the super events because those are the normal ones for the event deck. And there are 2 new monsters added here. The Rust Dragon. There it is, the Rust Dragon. Yes, we saw it. We saw it. I'm gonna get the miniature now for us to do a complete look at it. So yeah, here you see he was standing on that. Let me pause and get that meeting. There's the Rust Dragon miniature. So now we can complete the previous video by presenting here the Rust Dragon. This bad boy. I don't know which temple this one is, but it is 17 of initiative. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So I guess the Rust Dragon was the last surprise here, and we've seen everything from this expansion. Just 3 more to go, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to leave that like and consider subscribing, especially because we are very close to get to the 3,000 subscribers, so your help would be essential for me to have that support and continue bringing these videos. If you like this game, then I invite you to visit the channel, where you have, depending on the time when you're watching this video, already the videos from the other expansions, or I will post them in the future. So, and if you like board games and card games in general, I truly believe you'll find interesting content there for you to see. Thank you for watching until the end, and I see you in the next video. Goodbye.